Good morning and welcome again to Inside Liberia. Today we are bringing you news information that's in and around Monrovia, and we are coming to you live from Minnesota and Pennsylvania, respectively. This morning, I have with me the host of Inside Liberia. He's been on vacation, so I want to welcome him back this morning. Jensen, you're welcome.
Okay, patient, thank you so much, and thank you for the good job you've been doing onto your radio. We are glad to have you and excited to be here this morning to discuss the issues confronting that country on the west coast of Africa, Liberia.
Thank you. This morning we will be discussing the president annual message. We are expecting the annual message today, so this is going to form part of our discussion this morning. We're going to be also looking at Suasu Public School in Maryland County, and we're also going to talk about the administrative building in Lofa County. We are also hoping to have with us this morning the Press and Public Director at the House of
The House
is
of
it the
Senate.
House of Senate, and hopefully if he can come through the internet is something else, but hopefully if we can get him on, that would be wonderful. But the invitation is extended, and we are believing that you know it will be possible. Nevertheless, we go on to our discussion this morning. Jensen, I know that the Constitution requires the president to do what he's going to do today. You want to tell us what this is all about? I think I need to quote part of the article that brought this into effect. And if you can see on our screen this morning, you see um, part of the article there this morning.
Well, patient, thank you so much. And it's required that every sitting president of Liberia on the fourth working Monday will deliver his or her annual message. In this regard, we have President Weah, George M. Weah. He's the current president of Liberia, and he's supposed to be delivering his fifth annual message today. And that annual message, we expect to hear a lot about the state of affairs. He must be able to tell us what is going on, what has happened in the past year. And we expect to know the economic condition of the country. We expect to know the expenditure of the country. We expect to know his legislative agenda for the country for the coming year, for this year. So today's message is just like a tradition, but a constitutional requirement. The president cannot say he's sick on this matter, except even if he's sick, he's going to be deputized. So today we expect the President George Weah to deliver his annual message. And as I said earlier, we expect to hear about the expenditure of the country. We expect to hear about the financial status of the country. More so, we expect to know what the president intends to do legislatively. What is his legislative agenda for this year? So these are the cardinal issues for which he will be speaking. Surrounding that, we also expect to know how is Liberia standing with the international world. We hope we're supposed to hear that about the COVID. It might be, I'm not a speechwriter for him, but I'm sure we might be hearing something about, the current, global affairs. What is happening on the globe? What is the effect of COVID in Liberia? What is it like? Is Omicron really in Liberia? If not, what is it? Normally, the speech writer is supposed to look into the different agencies of government. Everybody should have their voice. Everybody should send some pieces of information to the president's office. And then those who writing the speech should be able to carve. When you have the voices of those who are presidential appointee into the speech of the president, you have a very, what I would describe as a juicy presidential message. But wherein one person will sit down or fewer persons will sit and just write a speech without doing that research. And research in that sense should be where these officials of government or the president kitchen cabinet. Kitchen cabinet would be those confidant, those persons who are supposed to look into what the president will be delivering. Because to give an annual message is to look at the spirit of Liberia, what the superintendents, are doing, what the country look like, how the educational system look like, how the foreign affairs look like. So Liberians in the past, people became very anxious to listen to the annual message. I don't know whether the momentum is still there in Liberia, but yeah, we are hoping that we will listen and know what is going on in Liberia, and we'll be glad to follow up and know some of the issues of concern. Like I want to know, Sandy said a newly printed banknote was going to come out before Christmas or before the season. We are now in January. What is the status of that? Maybe he will tell us. What is the president going to be saying? Is he going to be telling, okay, the money is out, or the monies are in the different banking institutions, and then we should expect the money out when? Maybe he will tell us that. Or whether there's a problem. We also know that the Ministry of Justice, through the what do I say? I don't want to use a border patrol agent because that's assigned to the U.S. But those are the port of entry in Liberia. They arrested some persons with counterfeit of the newly, something that resembled the newly printed banknotes. So whether that is the result of the delay, we don't know that. So maybe the president will tell us some of those things. So we hope to know what is going to be happening. But generally, today is a constitutional date set for the president to deliver his annual message.
Thank you. So, apart from the state of the economy and reports from government agency, is there any other thing that you expect that will come from this message?
Yeah, there's something that people don't normally put their attention on. Like the president is supposed to tell Liberians how many persons have died for the previous year, how many permanent Liberians, died. So we need to also know he's supposed to be telling Liberians, okay, the year 2021, these are the permanent Liberians that died. In fact, give us the over total analysis of how many Liberians passed. When we're talking about Liberia, not only those in Liberia, but those outside Liberia. Now, what are the speech writers also capture that? Whether they even have statistics that would be conformative with the reality of Liberians that have died, either from COVID or from whatever normal circumstances. But he needs to tell us, and that's part of his speech, previous presidential annual message. We need to know how many Liberians have passed. We need to know a lot about what has been happening in Liberia. So generally, we wouldn't be able to sit here and say what he's going to talk about, but we can only assume that what others have done before is just similar format that they all will follow. The only difference is the information that will include will be what we've been going to be watching for. Maybe after the speech, we might be able to discuss the speech and know the realisticness of what has been said.
Yeah, you said something previously before before this question. You said the speech is something that people look forward to. They are so excited, they want to know what the president is saying. Is there something in the speech usually that should benefit the people that that cause them to be so anxious to look forward to?
Yes, on the economic side, it's always believed the president will tell the nation, was there a budget shortfall? And if I talk about budget, there was a lot of problems in 2021. Okay, the budget had a lot of first part or second part, whatever, especially from July to December. That budgetary period, there was some problem. Normally, the president should be able to tell, okay, for the year gone, Liberia had a budget surplus, or we had a budget shortfall, or we were able to meet these goals. We have these goals. Normally, this is why it is. And I said this before annual message, every ministry and agencies, those who have the ministry and agencies, supposed to submit their annual report to the legislature, the very legislative body that the president is going to. Every minister, head of agencies supposed to submit their annual report of what they have done for the year. So that annual report should be in the possession of members of the Senate and House of Representatives. Following that should be the president's annual message. These documents should be studied by members of the legislative body. And then they should be there where, check and balance are always important. Where, okay, the Minister of Finance said this, the President said this. Is there any difference? Watch out for those things so that you will be able to know whether the people are very real in discussing the workings of government with members of the legislative body. But as I speak, I doubt it, even whether Samuel Tuer has ever submitted his annual message from the time the government started to this point. And not just Samuel Tuer, the Minister of State, those key ministries. Did they submit their annual, because besides the president's annual message, there should be annual reports from these head of agencies of government, cataloging what they did. Normally in strategic planning, we say you set goals. Let's say the ministries and agencies say, okay, we're going to do A, B, C, D. And then they inform the legislature, okay, we said we're going to do A, B, C, D. And you provided the money for us. The budget that was passed 2021 should have been a budget that each of the ministry and agencies should account to members of the legislative body. So John Brown heading Ministry A should be able to tell the legislature, okay, you set $5 million for us for this budget year, this current budget year 2021, and out of the $5 million, the things we plan to do, we wanted to do A, B, and C. And from the $5 million, we did A, B, and C. Or we did A, B, but we couldn't do C. Hence, we could not deplete or could not utilize all of the money. So we have excess of the money left. So it should be in the national coffer. But when you don't have, a proper working of these individuals, sometimes even the annual report. Normally, when I was sitting at the legislative body as President Public Affairs Director, those were things that we used to catch, we used to look for. All right. Do we have the annual message from LPRC? Do we not annual message, annual budget? Do we have an annual budget, annual report rather from LPRC? Do we have annual report from the Ministry of Finance? Do we have it from Internal Affairs? Do we have annual report from the different superintendents of the counties? What are they saying? When you take any of those reports, you should be able to get cogent information that will convince Liberians that, yeah, these people are really working in the interest of Liberia. So, besides the president's annual message, we expect to know the annual report that came from these different, agencies of government. Now, let us assume that these people did not submit an annual report. It is incumbent on the legislators themselves to demand this report. All right? Okay. All of these things, when they are put into practice, you have good governance. But if, some ministers are not reporting and the legislators are not asking for these reports, and only because the Constitution says the president must present to the legislature his annual report, and you have only the president submit his annual report, that's a bulk, let's say an old document that should go into pieces, meaning from those agencies of government. So yes, we are hoping to hear from what the president says, and we might be able to discuss those issues they're going to present to the legislators in subsequent days.
The question that comes to mind right now is that since this president took over, has there been any time in his annual message where a ministry or agency had a surplus?
I wouldn't say that. My purpose today was just to say, hey, Constitution says this, but that's a very good question. But I think Samuel Tuer out of last year said, and I'm not too right on this, Samuel Tuer, but I know he said that there was a budget surplus. Now, if there was a budget surplus, whether there's a carry forward this year to 2022, well, we might hear those things from the president. And let's watch out. That's a very good question, but I would say, let's stick with that question and watch out for what the president is going to say. Whether you're going to say, okay, there was a budget surplus, or we had a budget deficit, meaning the expenditure was more than the income or the
income.
money revenue generated, or we had a budget surplus, meaning the revenue we generated more revenue than the expenditure. So let's watch out for these things. That's a very good question, and we're going to keep eyes on that.
Okay, is that all you want to say concerning the annual message, expectation of the annual message today?
Yes, I expect that the president, Liberians, whether they are anxious, but I'm anxious because the country is not, in my own view, and this is my view, my personal view, I don't think the country is on course with most of the promises made. We should have seen the coastal highway. The president has just one more year after this year. Next year is election year. So we expect the president to be telling us, okay, when we came into power, when we took power, we are going to our fifth year. We promised these things. Okay, out of these things we promised, let's assume five things.
Mhm.
What are the achievements? Okay, for example, if I ask the big picture was the coastal highway, how far has the government gone with that? Is there a project known as the coastal highway going on? If not, the president should be able to admit that look, we promised we're going to do this, but we fall short on this, and we are not sure whether we can complete this thing that we said we're going to do comes of 2026, 2003, where we're going to be talking about election. You know, we're talking about election, there's more, you're not going to see more projects, you're not going to see more workings. So if they can't do major project this year, and they promise to do those things, we can describe it, we can see that there will be a failure of not achieving those things the CDC government promised to achieve.
Thank you, Jensen. Now we can take a look at the Suasu Public School. There's a school in Maryland that have been going through some challenges, and there's a video I'm going to play. There's a serious situation, and the county officials they need to look into that matter, because when it comes to education, it should be one of the top priorities of every county official, be it the superintendent, representative, or the senator. So I want to put up a Suasu Public School video, and then right after the video, we can have a discussion about what is unfolding in that school. But
Okay,
hopefully we can have the people, or the the how you call them, those that are responsible, those that are into
right.
government, like the superintendent, the senator or representative. They can watch this video, and hopefully they can make a decision as a concerning. So just listen, couple of seconds, let me just upload this video.
From Suasu, Gadabo Chiefdom, this is Maryland County District Number 3, represented by Honorable Isaac Blilu Roland. Welcome to the display of the Suasu Public School, which has been providing education for the young folks in this community, as it is currently in an appalling condition. We are told that for a year plus now, this building was hit by a rubber tree following a heavy storm, and there has not been anyone coming to the aid of the administration for the renovation of this institution.
We are Harrington Kwabo, the registrar for the school. Well, these Sundays were destroyed by a storm. A rubber tree was standing behind the house, not too far from it. And the storm threw came straight on top of the house and broke The equipment of the house damaged the whole area. That there are 2 rooms over there that damaged. Carter Center came here, they look at it, and they said, okay, when the report, education self came here, they look at it, took pictures and all, and since then they left. No of them have come back to the students looking at the place now and say, but the place fall already. So the best thing, let just go to Calocat or go to Pliego. So most of the students, we used to have here almost 200, pretty close to 200 students. But now you can get 75 students in the school. In the other community, living, walking that distance, they agree to walk that distance to go to Calocat. All because the place is damaged and with no more being used. So it's affecting the school seriously. The D always around here now once in a month, and he know all of this problem. He know the problem the school is facing. The village is facing a serious problem with the school business. It'll be fine. Even that causes some teachers now to start asking for transfer, leaving this place. But since a home-based teacher, that's why you see myself, I'm still around here. And the little ones that are here, they are small to walk from here to Calocat. You see, they are all Liberians. We can't deny them their education. We don't know who is who. So we agree, the 2 of us that are here now, we agree to help them at least. So that's how we are here.
So this place used to run 6th grade.
6th grade, yes.
Right now, what class are you running?
We now to 3rd grade.
From nursery up to 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And how are you managing with the issue of classes?
Yeah, because of that, so for the nursery, they are problem people. So we do self-contained. I take care of the nursery, the principal runs the other 3 classes. That's what we do.
So how many of you here as teachers?
We are 2, the principal and I.
Are you both on government payroll?
I am on a payroll. The principal has a problem. He's on the payroll. Yes, but sometimes money comes after 3 months before he receives it at all. Sometimes 4 months, he don't receive money. So,
Honorable Isaac Little Rowland is the representative of this district, and Senator Brown, who's over the county, hail from this district also. Did you bring this to their attention?
Little drove here, then 2 different times during the election. He saw this place. He owned this district. But whether something happened to this building, he don't even the feeding for him. He come for result, election result. That's the time he enter the village freely. Many a time he just on the road blow to know that he would have played the car going as well.
But how was this school constructed?
People used to come from Watergate to come here, but at that time the village was struggling using our local materials, the purples, sticks, and those things. They don't last long. And the purpose last you is when you're using it with fire. But because of that, so they used to suffer, the village used to suffer going in the bush. Almost after 3 years, they have to do repairing. After 2-3 years, they have to do repairing. Until the village cried to our Senator Level Brown. At the time, he was with UNDP. How he talked with the government, and they were able to see reason by sending this year to come and build the school, 2009. And even after they finished with the school, they didn't turn it over. Why it's true, the students, probably the enrollment of the students is not fully tight now, but we face problem with desks. We want government to come to our aid. Those rooms you see that we're using now, even no chair, no table. So you go as a teacher, you spend whole day until after your period, you walk out and go to the next class. But each time they bring teachers, after some time, they will come and take the teachers away. And it's not easy to do self-contained on 3 classes. Yes. The policy of Ministry of Education don't allow that. That is no serious learning is going on. because you can combine first grade, second grade, and third grade. You can't do that. And moreover, you alone just there. Are you combining a lesson or in a one blackboard? You divide the blackboard into three, or the period you divide it by three. So these are the problems we face when we need teachers in the school. I really want for government to come to our aid.
That was Suasu public school. Now he says so many things in this video. So the first thing he said was that not the first thing he said, but the first thing I want to point out.
Right.
The representative, he frequent the route. That means he's always passing around there, and the building is no concern. He's not concerned about what is happening there. And these are people. He's the representative for that district, and this is a school that used to house like 200 students, but now they are not even up to 75. And you have this school that have only 2 teachers. Now, how is that possible? What kind of learning environment is that? And what does the Ministry of Education say as a concern this issue? And he also said something. Most of the time they send teachers, but then they recall those teachers. Why? So many unanswered questions. But why will a school starting from nursery to 3rd grade have only 2 teachers? Yeah, go ahead.
It's not I don't know how to put it. Lenston, first we want to say thanks to Lenston Joe Wilson for such a discovery, what I would call it, because people are sitting in Morovia and thinking that all is well, and it's saddening to see a school building in that kind of a condition.
It really is.
All right, you're running a government, and there are institutions that were created before you were elected to positions. Now you talk about the Minister of Education. I would think the Minister of Education should answer more questions, because you should have the district education officers that are supposed to go around the entire country, not to sit in Morovia. Every county should have a district education officer, and besides that, there is a superintendent who should give account of all of those things that are happening in his county. More so, there are senators in those counties that should give account of all of those situations. Make sure these people do what they're supposed to do. Representatives, these people are there to ensure that we don't have the kind of situation in that country. Now you have people sitting up and think that all is well. When they take pay, they think all is well. Imagine children going to that kind of a school.
Yeah, and they have
listen to the teacher explain the situation. Let's look at the man's condition. Situation is not what it's supposed to be. Nobody needs to praise, sing, and want us to say, okay, we must be talking this and that. When you have deplorable situation like that, education in Maryland County, a few days ago, we're talking about another school building. This is another one that Liberian, Marylanders, where are you? That should be right before your feet. If you can't do it, you should make sure that government gets involved.
Yeah.
It's not about thinking. But for Chima, you are Speaker of the House of Representatives. You talk. I hope you see the video, Speaker Chima. See this video and see whether this is the kind of a school you expect to be in your county.
No, it may be, sometimes because these officials don't have their children or grandchildren attending these schools, so they have no interest.
True.
If your child, you will not even look at that kind of building and send your child to that kind of school.
That's true.
Now, will you be satisfied for your child?
The man is telling us that they have only 2 teachers. Even let us assume from K1 to, or let's say, kindergarten
grade.
to third grade.
So third
Two
grade.
teachers?
Two
Two
teachers.
teachers, for God in heaven's sake.
He's taking care of the nursery because the children are very.
You said something again. Even
Yeah.
with those things, they combining students first, second, third grade, say now in one class.
Yeah. First,
Maybe
second,
because you don't
third
get
grade,
blackboard, you don't get teacher, you don't get blackboard, you don't get.
No. They divide the blackboard into 3. So I mean, what kind of learning
What
environment?
kind of society is that? What kind of society is that? First grade, second grade, third grade in one class. Then you divide a blackboard. Okay, so when other student learning, what do the other students do? They close their ears?
They all learning together.
For God in heaven's sake, that is not Liberia that we all know about. Some of us, we went to good schools in Liberia, and we still think that those who are heading government. So it's there's something that 2A radio is doing, and I hope that Linston and other folks will continue to do that. Because most time we want to focus on the top and forget to know what is happening down there. So if we can reveal these things, if the public officials cannot know what is happening in there, let Liberians see it. Maybe if, for example, Isaac Rowland went to Maryland now, they should be asking about the school. Maryland should be asking him. Senator Brown, you should be asked about the school. There's something I was thinking when I listened to this man talking. This is just a sample of what is going in the country. If you do thorough survey about the education system in Liberia, you will have a serious regret. Even the Minister of Education will be dismissed. The late Samuel Doe, there's so resting. If he was alive and maybe watching this video, he would have gone to the Education Ministry. Or you would have called the Education Minister to come and give account. People hate to hear these things,
but
right?
The only thing these representatives and senators are concerned about is their votes. Now,
yes.
So
the man said during the campaign, one of them went to that very school, right? But after campaign,
that was the end of the story.
Let us sit down there. 2023 will go right back to them.
This time is going to be different. We are highlighting this story so that they can bring change to that school.
Definitely. We hope that we will visit other schools, and bring out most of those things. Right now, you go to the Capitol building, I know they are preparing for the president anonymous. Everybody wearing coat suit, right?
Yeah.
Liberia man, big thing. When you wear coat suit, people will see you, say, oh yeah, they men are big book man, or they men are, that kind of person. Not the kind of society people are used to. When you're supposed to be doing the major job, where is the senator? Where is the representative? Where is the education minister? Where is the district officer? Those persons, when I work at the GSC, even the auditing commission, the general auditing commission, you have a part to play in this matter. What is your report? You should be auditing these people. They get money for all of these things. You have counter development funds. A senator is taking $30,000, a representative taking $30,000, and you see school like this. 2 teachers, just one blackboard, 3 different classes, divide a blackboard to first grade, second, third grade. They all sit down in one classroom. What kind of thing is that? I think even the student age children used to do this kind of stuff. So we said, Lanston, thanks so much for this video. It's heart touching, and I hope those Marylanders. I have my own friend John Number. I will tell you, look, this is not what Maryland is going to be. Maryland was a state by itself before, right? So I was joking him a few times. I say, later y'all want divide the country again. Maryland want to create their own state. But until those things, this is where you're supposed to go. All of you Marylanders should be ashamed of the school building. If you can call George Weah, who's sitting down singing song every day, these are things that George Weah minds will be on. If he was really questioning superintendents, senators, and representatives, these people would have worked. But Ajawia is singing and dancing, superintendent and dancing the song he's singing. They are not working. They are not. But if the president was concerned, asking for reports from the Minister of Education every month, Mr. Minister, where's the report? And he reading these reports, seeing those things, and sending even some of his people, his confidants, into some of these counties, better thing will be done. But as you, the president, you stand to sing every day, almost every month you want to bring new song up. The people are dancing the song. People are taking their duties very unseriously. You can't have school like this. Children going to school. There are children in that place. Some of them could be engineers. Some of them could be scientists. Some of them could be accountants. Some of them could be nurses. Don't deny them. So maybe learners, you don't deny your countrymen. Or you must do something right now. They don't say you must go spend your individual money. The country has money. Senators are taking 30,000 out for country development fund for whatever they call it, legislative engagement. Now, this is something that they all should be doing. We hope maybe the next few months somebody will put attention on that building. Condition, face that building.
Oh yeah, because
give those children opportunity.
They're
They
looking
need
for food
opportunity.
right now.
You
They are
know,
looking for food right now. So
yeah, we know for sure. Maybe before 2023, that building going to be fixed. But it's not just about fixing the building. It's about look. If that building is going to be closed, honestly, should be closed. But how will you close it when so you're going to be denied the other locates?
yeah, but that's what he said. He said the other school is a little bit farther away. So if that school is closed, it's gonna hinder the learning process.
The learning condition, yeah, of the children, of the other children. They can't walk. They can't walk long distances.
Yeah.
You know, so the government, the structure is already there. Look, there are so many people in Morovia who need job. Just create an incentive. Even that man over there, can you imagine? The man also said something. A teacher is working under that kind of condition. They can't pay him until after 3 months.
Not yeah. After
one of them can't pay after 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's almost like a failed state. People sometimes you don't want to say these things, but if these conditions are revealed and we see this kind of situation, hey, my people, you need to do something. George Weah, if you were questioning your people when you are having cabinet meetings, this kind of thing will come before you. You will know what is happening in the different places. Even the education minister, how you call it, Sony, right? You should be. I don't know whether you're getting these reports from your people. What your district education officers, are you getting reports from them from the different? Look, honestly, if you do survey of the different counties, we all will be surprised. And I hope the General Auditing Commission will take note of this, or the Internal Audit Secretariat will take note of this, and they themselves should go around the country and get a report, vivid description of the school system in that country. Go to the different hospitals. You will also regret that. So if you can't take care of education, you can't take care of health, I don't know what country you're running.
This is terrible for the students and for the teachers. How can you have now you don't have the right number of teachers, and at the same time when they go to teach, they are standing until the end of the school day. Right, I mean, that is terrible. No decks, no chair. How can you put somebody under that kind of environment to teach? They're even traumatized from that kind of environment.
But look, let's face the patient. You see that man who even talking his story. Sometimes it's not good to say these things, but that's mere condition. He might sooner maybe just get tired and say, "Better let me just sit at home. Let me go make some farm or something and keep doing some stuff." So they are holding the pillar of that building, even though they are two, but there's a lot they are doing, So their condition need to be considered. You can't go and say, who's that?
2%.
Yeah, just a minute. I'm coming to you, please. So that's what it is, and so we just emphasize this, and we want the government to take note of that.
Yeah. So, Representative Isaac Rowland, you are the representative for this district where the school is located. You need to do something. You need to follow up on this story.
He needs to do something
because you need the votes of these people. Don't go there when you only need their votes. Go there because you are concerned about the condition of your district. That should be your paramount concern. Not only passing around and stopping when you want to encourage people to go and vote for you. Now next year is coming. I pray that they don't vote for any lawmaker that will not be in their interest. This is my
Well,
prayer for
yeah,
not
yeah,
only
no, no,
I
no,
said
no,
Wole,
no, 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 no. I think you're going too far, patient. Let's
no,
just
not
present the
only him.
situation.
I'm talking.
Let's present the situation.
I'm talking
Listen,
about the rest of the lawmakers. If you
right,
in a district and you are not concerned about the people you are representing, what kind of representation is that? Then you should not be representing them. That's what I'm saying.
that's
You
true.
should
But you
not
know
be
what? You know
representing
what,
people that
patient,
you don't care for.
patient. The thing is, we present the situation to the people, right? They themselves feel the pains of these things, so they will make their own decision. What do they do next? If they go to vote in the same people, then they
Open
want
your
to continue
eyes,
to be that
people.
way it is.
Open your eyes.
You know,
These people that are representing you, they should be in the forefront, soliciting help for you. They should be there, making sure that your healthcare system, is good enough for you. Your representation in the House should benefit you. Your representation in the Senate should benefit you. If you have a lawmaker, whether he is a senator or a representative, and he is not in your interest, do not vote for him again. I'm saying this. Do not vote for him again. Nobody got to tell you that the person they're in your interest. The reason why you put people into power
right,
is
right,
because you want them to represent you. You have that trust and the confidence in them that they're going to
right,
make change.
right.
That they're going to bring change to the condition of your community. Now, if your community is going from wise to ridiculous, you need to think twice. When
Right.
you go to that ballot box, you better think again. The person that is
Again,
there
again,
currently,
patient. We just present the situation to the people, and most of them, like that man who's sitting over there, who is explaining all of his plight and the plight of the students and the community that he lives in. These people get eyes to see, they can feel. Some of them are aging, so if they cannot see their own condition to make a better decision for themselves, we can do more than what we can do.
oh,
And
we
that's
can
the
only
role of the
tell them.
media. The
We can
media
only
should
tell
just
them
present the
what they
situation to
should
them.
expect.
This is why it is. They're a good side of life. And they're where people, there are almost 5 million persons in Liberia. Maybe let us have smart people. They should be able to look among them and say, okay, we think we'll vote for this person. The person is going to change our situation. If they think the condition they're living under is good, fine enough for them. You can't force anybody. Voting is a personal decision.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're not
So we can talk all
forcing
we
them.
can. We can tell them, say, go vote for this person. You have the decision to make. If you feel this 6 year was good for you, then you're voting for the people who are there. If you think the 6 year did not bring any change to your life, your personal life, then you make a decision what you're going to do. Then you look for a new alternative. If my children were not in school, myself here, I never had any job to do. Even though I'm after 40 years of age and I still want my children to be the same, it's up to me. It's up to me. But
Well,
every man we all came in this world for a purpose.
well,
And the purpose for a government is to
yeah,
make sure the welfare of the people are taken care of.
but
If
that's
you
it.
are a
The
government
welfare.
and you cannot meet the welfare of the people,
So
there's no need why you in power.
if
No
you
need.
if you are
It's not
there,
just George Weah, but anybody for that matter.
if you are of a voting age and you are in a community, I'm saying this again. We're bringing information so people can be educated. That's the purpose of the broadcast.
Right.
If you are in a community and your representative and senator, they're not in your interest. They're not pushing agenda that will bring change to your community.
But guess
You
what?
need to think twice.
Patient. It's not
Yeah.
just senator and representative, because the president appoints his superintendent. He
Of course,
appoints the education minister.
including the county
So
officials.
the
That's
decision the president makes, these are some of the decisions. The president appoints the education minister. The education minister is supposed to oversee all education activity in Liberia.
of course.
So
Of
if you
course.
have the kind of bad
So
situation,
now the point here is, Jensen, if you have a good representation, if you have my representative or my senator, and he's in my interest, and he knows that the education system in the county not good, don't you think he's going to call? He got the right to call the education minister for questioning.
of course,
He
even
will.
the president, they all have the right to ask the president, oh, you
They will
said
do
this.
that.
Yeah,
But if they're not in your interest, they're just concerned about the 30,000. Of course, they're not going to do anything because
Of
they're
course.
only concerned about the 30,000. So it comes right back to them.
Yeah.
So open your eyes, people. 2023 is next door. Any representation that is not in your interest, you have to make a decision that will help you, not only you, but your unborn generation,
Right.
your children's children. Now, let me tell you, if that child is not properly cared for, properly educated, what you think will happen to his children or his children's children?
You know,
You
there's
know?
something that I always tell people. The 15 years gap is a serious problem for the country.
It
Now,
is.
instead of people improving to cover that gap, the current government, sorry to say, is like widening the gap. So instead of talking about 15 years, we'll be talking about 15 plus 6 years. That's about what? 21 years? 21 years of gap. So to fill those gaps, those
Terrible.
years, it take serious-minded people. Serious-minded people can fill that
This is
21-year
terrible.
gap.
I
Or
mean,
else,
no child should
if you have 40 years of age, you minus 6 years, right now you're going to 46. Add another 6 years to it, you're going to be 52. So those are 52. Imagine where they are. If a man, you know, when we make analysis of what is happening in Liberia, people take it like you hate somebody. You know, we're hating somebody. A man at 40, he had no plan of his own wedding. He had no plan of building a house. He had no plan of even his own children starting to make decisions. Is struggling. Food to find to eat is a struggle. You know, everybody there break the all running around, and we still think that all is well. You know, so yeah, picture. I mean, we hope that. I mean, we will go deep down. While people looking at the top now, we all going at the Capitol building for the president annual message. It's good that we're having a kind of discussion so that those of you who want to see people in court suit and say, oh yeah, I'm a senator there, I'm a representative there. These are the situations that are happening down there. Give the people their due. Give them education, the children. Provide this opportunity for them. Be building a nation.
To close on that video, no child should learn in that kind of environment.
That is true.
No child should have one teacher, and that child is in an environment where you have first, second, and third grade, and you have only one teacher teaching them, and you have one blackboard divided into three. That should not happen, not in this
It should
day and
not. It should
age.
not. Of course, I do agree. Children should have
So,
laptops, right?
so
Or right, call it
of
iPads and
course,
all those things.
I
But they
mean,
don't have the
that's it.
iPads. Say the blackboard
The
and the
blackboard
different classrooms should be available for
should
them.
be available, but you got two teachers. So, the proper authorities, please, you all need to look into this.
I'm going to share this one with all my Marylanders,
You all need the
friends.
Maryland
They need,
Association in America. You all
they
need to
need
look
to,
into
yeah,
this.
definitely. They need to.
The superintendent, all the county officials. You know, I like inside Liberia because we are bringing the situation that need changes all inside the different counties.
Right,
It's not
right.
only Maryland, but we are bringing them. So y'all who going back and vouching for political positions, you need to look at, start looking at.
I hope my own friend and brothers, because Chimos will look at this video and maybe call the superintendent or the county officials to a meeting. What is this? There's a second school building. Or as a speaker, I would even want to suggest send his own team. Use some of your low resources. Send your own team. I want to know what is happening in Maryland County.
I'm still
Give
going
me
to
the
post
report
this video.
on education.
I'm going to post this video.
No, I think let's discuss the other stuff. We will keep discussing it. We're gone for the 9 minutes already.
Yeah.
So I think we have one issue, and then we can probably think of that. Time is fast.
Yeah, the next thing we need to look at is the administrative building in Lofa County. Beautiful building. Let's go to slide 1. That's the beginning. That's the entrance of the building over there. Let me see if we can put it in the corner. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. That's the administrative building. Lofa County administrative building. In this building house, the county official. I want to now tell me, if you're a county official, will you feel comfortable? Sorry, I gotta bring you back. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, sorry.
I think we should see the entire picture, the photos.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, then we can discuss that building,
okay.
so that our audience can see the building we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Please. This.
okay.
This is the
So
building.
yeah, patient, as you post these pictures, we're talking about school, right? This we're talking about administrative building,
Yeah.
Lofa County.
Mm-hmm.
Lofa County. All of these political noise are going around. This is Lofa. This is
And the
seat
superintendent has his office in this building.
in this building.
Superintendent Tamba, William Tamba, Kamba. William Tamba Kamba.
Now, senators are going to Lofa County, representatives are going to Lofa County, county officials are there. I could have said what Jefferson Tamakoji was in Lofa County, and all of them now they are running campaign. I'm told that how you call him, Thomas Fala, we want to run for Lofa County. You go in there, you're running a country now. It's not about you going to contest a position. So I'm just imagining what is happening to all of the administrative building in Liberia. If we were to do a survey in those buildings, can we see, this is one building that should not be in this kind of condition. Administrative building.
Here, this is
Superintendent is sitting there.
This is the home.
Yes.
Of the county.
Of county officials.
And every guest that you have, this should be the first stopping point. This should be where you receive them. Everything. You want to process documents, whatever you want to do. This should be the place. Administrative building.
Definitely. And I think
in this kind of deplorable condition.
I don't know whether the superintendent.
The question that comes to mind is that when the representatives and senators go to meet the superintendent, don't they meet in this building?
Don't they see the kind of deplorable condition of the building?
Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
Or do they go and meet somewhere else because they figure that the building is not?
It's also possible. Maybe the superintendent may just arrange some low place for other than to meet, drink wine, and what have you. And then merriment and in a very, conducive low place, and they don't even tour the city to know what is happening.
No,
that's what will happen. Because I don't think any senator will see this kind of a building will be happy about it.
No, he will not even go in there.
Now, Senator Zago has his duplex in that place.
Mansion.
It's well conditioned. His mansion.
Yeah.
Okay, it's well conditioned. Now, this is administrative building. We don't say Senator Zago will go and use his personal money here. No. Senator Zago himself took some of the $30,000 for legislative engagement. Whatever engagement he's doing, the two senators for Lofa County, these are pictures they're supposed to see. Representative, these are pictures they're supposed to see. The superintendent, the president of Liberia, supposed to see the kind of a building. But guess what? Some people are immune from discussing this matter. Right now, they close their ears to these kind of hard facts.
Yeah.
People don't want to hear these hard facts. They want you to discuss, Joe, you don't see what the president is doing? Yeah, we see that now, but this is an administrative building. You know what it means? Structure of government. This is an administrative building. So don't tell me, say, I'm going to go and show you a picture that you want to see. I want to show you a picture that you want to see and will move people to do those things they're supposed to
do. It's serious.
The administrative building of any county is a seat of government. It's somebody the mansion for the county.
Superintendent William Tamba Kamba is in this building. I will not be surprised.
You know why? Maybe that man himself, not read letter upon letter, but he too had to show us some of those letters. Some people are not trying on the best, but no way. But guess what? Maybe he will be afraid to talk.
The funny thing here is, if this building were to collapse on the superintendent, people will have a state funeral for him, and Definitely. They will say all the good things. They will not talk about how they created a death trap that took him to his early grave.
But the thing is, when it rains, what happened to that building? This building we're looking at, administrative building. First when I saw the picture, I said, no, man, I told I said, no, this is a lie, man. I don't think this is a true picture. But he says it's true. That's the administrative building.
This is
the local county correspondent, that's the administrative building. County. So let the county official come out and say this thing that lie. It's not true. We want someone to just tell the truth. We're not in Lofa County. We're sitting right in America, and we're just presenting these hard facts that we received it. So let the superintendent, let the senator or representative call the superintendent and say, why is it building like this? That's the only reason we're bringing some of this information out. Correct those errors. This one wouldn't take even, I don't know how many $1,000 to recondition it. That's what you say when you go there. That's what you're supposed to say. That's what you're supposed to call for your whatever beer, whatever you drink, whatever you do.
No, that place is not for that.
Yeah, so patient, continue. Just a minute.
Yeah, so this is inside Liberia.
I'm doing something online, please. I think I will talk to you.
This is inside Liberia, and sorry for that interruption. And Mr. Jensen, please put your thing on mute if you have to interact with your neighbors.
Yes, so sorry.
Yes, so this has been in another presentation of Inside Liberia, and this morning we were talking about the State of the Nation address, which will be taking place later on today, and we also brought to your notice a school building in Maryland County, Suasu Public School, that have 2 teachers, and the school is from kindergarten to 3rd grade, but it has 2 teachers. And the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade are in one class, and they have one blackboard that they divide into 3 to bring, the instructional materials for them. And then the administrative building of Lofa County that houses the superintendent of the county. And that superintendent, I'm sure there are times that he has meeting with his representatives and senator. But they see the building and nothing is being done. I think something must be done. You just cannot see that building and let it go like that. So we are calling on all the the people concerned and people responsible, so they can make the proper decision to bring change to wherever it is needed. Jensen, you want to give your closing remark before we go?
Yeah, I think, patient, thank you so much. And we want to call on the national government. We just presented a case, someone see this as a case study for the entire country. All right, look at the educational system, look at the infrastructure. Like in America, Joe Biden is concerned about infrastructure. They want to recondition all of the major bridges in America. And if need be, build new bridges. Now, instead of talking about all your coastal highway and whatever you want to do, these are the things. The low children are over there, give them the opportunity. The Constitution provided, you provide opportunity for children. So for Liberians, so those kids, they need opportunity to learn. Condition the schools in Maryland County, and we're calling on Marylanders in general to do something about that school. Another school we show, and we might compile all the things. Go on to the video page, you will see these schools. All right, and you challenge the government. So challenge the government doesn't mean you hate the government. That's the mindset of people. I don't know whether it's because of the 15-year gap or the 21-year gap we're all entering into.
I think some of them must have passed through the walls of those kind of schools.
Yeah, so true.
And they never had the teachers to help them.
So I mean, to close up, is serious. I think senators, representatives, the president, those who are in the president kitchen cabinet, you guys see all of these things that come up from the different outlet, the media outlets. So you should be able to call the appropriate agency. The education minister should be called now by the president office. So why is this school like this? Then when he leave from there, now you go straight to the district education officer. Look, you're disgracing me. The president just called me and said, well, we're not doing much in taking care of the different structures in Liberia. And I think I agree with him. So I want that done within the next 2 weeks. This is how people work. Rather than, okay, let the media keep talking. Let us keep talking. Well, we'll keep bringing it out to you guys. What you do is up to you. The next election, the people themselves will decide which way to go. So, patient, thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity to be with you this morning.
Well, thank you to our viewers and thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation by the 2A Radio TV, the African Actions Network. And we will be here again on Thursday to bring another edition of Inside Liberia. Have a blessed day.